The definition of sport, according to the dictionary, is an activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against another or others for entertainment. This definition gives you 4 qualifications. 1, physical exertion, 2, skill, 3, individual or team competitions, and 4, entertainment. Based on these 4 qualifications, climbing absolutely is a sport, and in this video, I'm going to prove it with each of these qualifications. Stay to the end because I'm also going to share how non-competitive climbing, such as outdoor ascents, like Alex Honnold's El Capitan from Free Solo, fits into everything. Let's get started with the qualifying climbing as a sport based on exertion. Climbing is a low-impact exercise that uses the entire body to go up and sometimes down routes indoor and outdoors. To see what studies have shown related to activity exertion, we can look at MET value, how much energy an activity uses. There are 3 categories for MET value. Low intensity, like sitting at your desk and typing on the computer or watching TV. Moderate intensity, like water aerobics or stationary bike, like at a moderate level of difficulty. And then high intensity. These are things like calisthenics, running, or jogging. Climbing is considered among high intensity workouts and exerts a lot of energy. This confirms that climbing involves physical exertion, for sure. Now let's talk about qualifying climbing as a sport based on skill. There are different levels of climbing called grades, some that are easy enough for young children to accomplish, and it goes up to such great difficulty that only elite climbers are able to accomplish them. Once you get to about V3 or 511 grades, the climbs start to become more difficult to use strength alone. By the time you're climbing a V5 or V512, it's rare for a climber to be able to accomplish the grade without good understanding of technique and skill. With that in mind, the harder the grade is, the more skill you need, and thus confirming that climbing requires skill. Now let's talk about individual or team competitions. There are climbing competitions all around the world. Some are local, and they range all the way up to world championships, including the Olympics later this year. Nothing says competition like the Olympics. As for how the climbing meets the requirements of being for entertainment, there are always spectators at these competitions, and they broadcast online and on TV. Now let's talk about outdoor climbing ascents such as Alex Honnold's El Capitan in the famous Free Solo documentary. When it comes to physical exertion, yes, it's very physically exerting on the MET scale. Regarding skill, yes, it absolutely requires great skill, especially when it comes to mental skill to stay calm and confident. Mental skill is sometimes overlooked when it comes to spectators of sports, but when it comes to athletes themselves, it is a very important skill. When it comes to individual or team competitions, you could argue that it was a competition to be the first to ascend that specific route all in one day, but because there weren't clear other competitors at the time, I'm going to say no, this does not qualify for competitions. And when it comes to entertainment, yes, it is one of the most widely popular climbing documentaries that we have out there. So what does this mean for climbing ascents like Alex Honnold's Free Solo? Is that still a sport? Well, just like in basketball, when you're shooting hoops by yourself practicing, basketball is still considered a sport, even though you shooting hoops may not meet the qualifications of a sport according to the definition. If you have any video ideas, please write them down in the comments below. I have some videos that I'm really excited about over the next couple of weeks, but by including them in the comments below, it gives me an idea of what you're looking for. So go ahead and write them down in the comments.